Hey, deal makers, and welcome to the show where it's all about financial freedom with real estate. Let's do it. Got a great show for you today here. We are here with Brian Wagers today. Young guy, got started in his 20s, and at 29, he's financially free. He's got several hundred units and is really scaling this thing to a higher level. And really the different is he discovered the importance of platform building, of marketing. So we're going to talk about scaling today. Super exciting to get into his story. But before we do, I want to give a shout out to Nemo3. Okay, I love all these names on iTunes. I love that. He gave this, Michael and his team have truly created something special in the space. This is my go-to thought leadership platform. The tremendous amount of value they provide in the array of different perspectives. This is the best multifamily podcast I have found. Keep up the good work, guys, and thanks. Appreciate that, Nemo. Thanks for that review. Also want to highlight one of our students, Duamel Velon. In fact, we interviewed him a few episodes ago in 317, and we just haven't recognized him here on the show because he just started with a purchase syndicated deal analyzer, and now he manages over 203 units. And so he still uses the SDA for all his deals as much as we do as well. Now, if you want to get started with apartment building investing and you want to scale faster and become financially free and maybe avoid some of the bigger mistakes, then consider mentoring. Check us out at themichaelblank.com/mentor and schedule a call with us and just explore if mentoring is right for you. We just have a super high success rate with our mentoring students. We have a system that we call Deal Maker Certification. We know what's going to work and get you in a deal and become financially free. In fact, we're the only program that guarantees that you'll do a deal in the first year. So really excited about that. We can do that only because we've done it so many times. So hopefully you'll have a conversation with us. And with that, let's bring on Garrett. Garrett, what's going on?
What's going on, Michael?
So today we're going to talk about scaling. Okay, we talk about the first deal a lot. We talk about financial freedom, and those are super, super important. But what I found is that a lot of syndicators don't think about scale, and I was a little bit like that as well, where you kind of get into and you put one foot in front of the other. You do one deal, and then all of a sudden there's an issue. Oh my gosh, I didn't think of that, and you fix it, and you keep moving forward, and then a wheel comes off, and you fix it, and so over the years you kind of figure out how to scale the business. And I'm wondering, looking back at maybe what you did in your previous partnership or even with Nighthawk, are some things that had we sat down and really thought about how we want to scale, there's some things that we would have maybe done differently.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger ones is to not rely on just one vendor in any capacity. And what I mean by that's not only like your handyman or your construction companies or whatever that exist, but it's also like property management companies. It's a lot of different things that always have some kind of backup just in case something goes sideways, because things do. And you want to make sure that you have a deep bench on that side of the business. And really, we've been going through this in different capacities. One example, we started a relationship with a brand new contractor on unit renovations. They're going to handle, turnkey unit renovations. And something happens, it blows up with a job in a different state. And all of a sudden, they're not hitting their timing and their budget. And you're left stuck there. You're kind of at their mercy because they're the only one that's been doing all your unit renovations. Well, now you have to go try to source someone else. You have to go, you lose time. People have move-ins, it's a whole thing. And so, we're in a position now where we have like 6 or 7 of them and we just trade them out. All right, you know what? You're done. New guy, you're stepping in. You got the work now. Figure out the contract, and it changes. And so you can do that on every single level with any kind of vendor that you're using, so that you're not stuck in the mud relying on them to handle things. I think that's a big one.
I mean, if it happened on one property, that's bad enough, but it's happening across a portfolio of 5. And the only lesson learned that we would do differently is focus on construction sooner. So in fact, now we have a full-time construction manager. We have a full-time assistant to the construction manager because we find ourselves to be in the construction business. It's such a big part of our portfolio. And we're like, man, why are we struggling with this stuff? Because typically in the beginning, you trust your property manager to handle construction, and they can. You have a small deal, they have a single deal. It's not a big deal. They handle construction. Okay, great. Now you get a little bigger construction that involves some bigger stuff inside and outside. And then you add 2 or 3 to it. All of a sudden the wheels are coming off. And this is what I'm saying is there's scale. And, we were guilty of this as Gary. We would get through this and we go, all of a sudden, something bad happens. We're like, oh crap, we have a fire burning, we run and put the fire out, we're like, whew, fire's out. And now if another fire starts over there, we run and put the fire out versus, sitting down a little more intentionally going, okay, what possible fires might be burning if we continue adding deals to our portfolio? And like, that's one thing. And we're going to talk about this on the show.
It's a huge point. And to kind of tie them together, if you rely on your property manager for every part of your business, think about if they think about how much leverage they have on you. So they're them alone, you may not want to leave them because they're doing your construction and the construction is going well, but they're not doing well on the operations side. So we've made pivots and we purposely put ourselves in a position where we can do things ourselves. In the event something does go sideways, we're not reliant on one particular company to survive. And I think that has helped over time. You know, it's not been a perfect science, of course, but it's been a big help to have that maneuverability as a scalable entity.